They say happiness depends on what happens to us. But what if that's not true? In a quiet little village, there lived an old woman whose smile never faded, no matter what life took from her. Everyone knew her. She had a heart as soft as morning light and eyes that carried peace. People came to her not for riches, but for comfort, and somehow, they always left with lighter hearts. One afternoon, a young woman came to see her. Her eyes were tired, her voice barely a whisper. "Grandmother," she asked, "how are you always happy? Don't you ever feel sad when life goes wrong?" The old woman smiled, her hands steady as she poured a cup of tea. "My dear," she said gently, "happiness doesn't come from what happens around us. It comes from what we carry inside." She looked at the small oil lamp beside her. Its flame swayed softly in the breeze. "When I was young," she said, "I had a husband and children. We were poor, but our home was full of laughter. Then one day my husband fell ill, and he never recovered. I cried until I thought my heart would stop. But then I looked at my children and realized they still needed me. I couldn't let grief raise them. So, I chose to live again." Her voice softened. "Every morning I light this lamp and tell myself, this is a new day. I will find one reason to smile. Some days it's the sound of birds. Other days it's the warmth of sunlight or a kind word from a neighbor. But no matter how small, there's always something good, if we choose to see it." The young woman listened quietly. Then she asked, "But what if something truly bad happens again? How can a person still stay happy then?" The old woman nodded. "It's not easy," she said. "When pain comes, we must feel it. But remember, nothing lasts forever. Good times fade, and so do the bad ones. So when life hurts, I look at what I still have, my breath, my memories, my chance to love again. Happiness is a choice, my dear. We can stare at the dark, or we can turn toward the light." That night, the young woman went home and found a small lamp of her own. She lit it, just as the old woman did, and whispered, "This is a new day. I will find one reason to smile." At first, her reasons were small. The morning breeze, children laughing outside, the smell of warm bread. But soon, her heart began to change. Even when life felt heavy, her light stayed alive. In time, people began to notice her calmness. They asked how she stayed so peaceful. And she smiled, the same gentle smile the old woman once wore. "Happiness," she said, "does not come from the world around us. It begins inside our hearts." And so, one flame became 2, then 10, then 100, until the whole village glowed with quiet peace. All because one old woman chose to keep her light burning.